Hello, and welcome to today's recording of Assassin's Creed 3. Today we're going to be doing sequence number 10 on day number 42? No, 43, sorry, of our Assassin's Creed marathon run up until Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yesterday we hunted down Benjamin Church for stealing some stuff from the Continental Army with our daddy. And now we're gonna see a little bit of the fallout. We are also going to talk about the Marquis de Lafayette, who we met a little bit at Valley Forge, and I think we met a little bit before then as well. But we got some
Welcome back.
stuff to talk about.
And how was Martinique?
Achilles, I owe you an apology. It was wrong of me to say the things I did.
Your words were harsh, Connor, but there was also truth there. I failed the Order, allowed the Templars to take control.
But now their hold is weakened, which makes me believe there's a chance for peace. Imagine what might be accomplished if we were
Sorry,
to
you can
unite.
hear my dog, by the way.
Why the change of heart? Where is this coming from? You've met your father, haven't you?
I do not claim to trust the man or even like him. But I would be remiss to ignore this opportunity.
Hatham may listen, but will he understand? And even if he does, will he agree?
Even he must admit that we can achieve more together than we do alone.
I assume you're off to find him.
Yes. I ride for New York to see what might be done.
At least this time he told him where he was going. So before we get moving, I'm going to try to pronounce Lafayette's full name. And anybody who's watching, I apologize if I butcher this. I'm not a native speaker of French. So the Marquis de Lafayette, his full name was Marie-Joseph Paul Yves Roch Gilbert du Montier, Marquis de Lafayette. How'd I do? Let me know in the comments below and see how badly I murdered that name. From here forward, I'm either going to call him the Marquis de Lafayette or just Lafayette. So he was born September 6, 1757. I believe that actually makes him a little bit younger than Connor himself. He was a French aristocrat. Embrace the weird, right? Alright, so he was a French aristocrat and military officer that would command American troops during the American Revolution. And we all knew that, right? But he also was at the Siege of Yorktown, which we will get there. There's a lot more to this man than I knew of from history class, so if you forgive me, I will indulge a bit. There's a lot to get through in his life. And I had considered doing it during Unity, but I do not recall him being in that game noticeably. So we're going to talk about him here. There we go. He would, of course, follow his family's tradition and be commissioned. Man, he was commissioned as an officer at the age of 13. Really? It broke. Come on. On December 7th, 1776, despite being only 19 years old, he would be enlisted as a major general with the Union Army. Union Army. We're not talking about the Civil War. It's the Confederate, not the Confederate League. Still, really? I really? Oh, there we go. Opened up. Cool. I'm gonna get up here and get this viewpoint too. After his father-in-law and superior officer would... Okay, I see how I wrote my notes. I was tired when I wrote these notes. It's not acceptable. I should have known these. I should have read them. I didn't. So, my bad. Okay, so on December 7th, 1776, despite being 19, he would enlist and be commissioned as a major general in the American colonial army. After his father-in-law, who was also his superior officer, sent him to London, where he would spend 3 weeks with British aristocracy and society. Are these guys all kill and fight? Yep. Oh, like I should have died. Alright, I'm not gonna mess with them because I don't want to deal with patrol that just walked by. Okay, so after 3 weeks, and when he returned to France, he would hide from his father-in-law, and after King Louis XVI issued a decree to forbid French officers from serving in the American Continental Congress, couldn't afford to pay for his trip, he would buy a ship. He would buy the sailing ship what did he call it? La Victorie. I can't pronounce it, so I'm just going to call it the Victory. But right now we're going to have this start up this mission and continue talking about him after the cutscene. Guys' faces have gone.
We need to know what the Loyalists are planning, if we're to put an end to this.
I've tried, but the soldiers themselves are told nothing now, only to await orders from above.
Keep digging. Come find me when you have something worth sharing. We're so close to victory. A few more well-placed attacks and we'll be able to put an end to the Civil War and be rid of the crown.
What do you intend?
Well, nothing at the moment, since we're completely in the dark.
I thought the Templars had eyes and ears everywhere.
Oh, we did. Until you started cutting them off.
Your contact said orders from above. It tells us exactly what we need to do. Track down the Loyalist commanders.
Didn't sound like he liked that idea.
Oi! You looking for trouble, friend?
I wouldn't be bearing arms here if I were you.
Singular. Reckless fellow.
Yeah, he can climb inside the city without an issue, but you get him in a tree and you don't know what he's doing.
Last time I was that deep in me cups.
Neither does Connor, apparently. Tell you to hold the right trigger and not hit A when you're running, and that doesn't do very well.
Have you considered the proposal?
I'm unconvinced. To reinforce them would leave New York exposed. It's hard enough maintaining order with our current numbers. Cut in half.
Yet If we do not join with them, they risk defeat. And then what?
Well, they should have come by sea.
Well, they're talking in circles. We'll learn nothing watching as we are.
Then what do you propose we do? March in there and demand answers?
Well, yes.
Ambush!
Connor? Little help here?
He's like, really, Dad? For real?
Leave the commanders alive, Connor. We can interrogate them.
We're gonna call in, forgot his name already.
I've got a shot!
Go well. Doesn't come down.
We'll bring them back to my quarters at Fort George and see what secrets they might share. Really? Well, you'd best get after him then.
You go. I will watch the prisoners.
No, you do it.
Why me?
Because I said so. Now go.
That's where he tries to be a father, but he really isn't a father.
Help! I need help!
God save me!
Come no closer! We've earned some bloody respect.
I want to shoot him.
Stop him!
Seriously want to shoot him.
Move.
Go to hell!
I said move.
Wait. I'll tell you anything you want. Anything, only don't make
We
me
just
go
have
in
some
there.
questions for you.
Cross that threshold and I'm a dead man.
There you are, Connor. I was worried you might have gotten lost. Come on, Ben.
Connor's gonna learn some truth here. So, Lafayette would acquire that sailing ship, the Victory, for £112,000 of his own money. Victory would set sail for the U.S. on April 20th, 1777. He would land near Georgetown, South Carolina on June 13th, 77. And once in Philadelphia, he would offer to serve without pay, and Congress would recommission him again as a Major General on July 31st, 1777. He'd fight in the Battle of Brandywine, Barron Hill, Monmouth, and Rhode Island, as well as experiencing the winter at Valley Forge. Walk, dude. He would take leave January 17th? No, just January 1779 to return home. And when reaching Paris, oops, I walked around there. He'd be placed under house arrest for at least 8 days.
What are the British planning?
To march from Philadelphia. That city's finished. New York's the key. They'll double our numbers, push back the rebels.
When do they begin?
2 days from now.
June 18th. I must warn Washington.
You see? That wasn't so very difficult now, was it?
I've told you everything. Now let me go.
Of course. The other two said the same. It must be true.
You killed him. You killed all of them. Why?
They'd have warned the Loyalists.
You could have held him until the fight was done.
What? And we're precious time and money on their care. What would be the point? They'd given up everything they knew. I'll meet you at Valley Forge.
Wow. I do like the fast travel system in this game. Very easy just to pull in and pull out. Alright, so for anyone back home after the 8 days of wait, am I right next to a thing? I am. After the 8 days house arrest.
Guilty of treason and conspiracy.
Thank you.
That was pretty cool.
It's a trust.
Gotta say, that was pretty cool. 8 days house arrest, and he was only placed under house arrest to save face for King Louis, because he just left without orders. Can't do that. Now, after the 8 days, Lafayette would be given a hero's welcome, and then he would be invited to go hunting with the king, which, if you don't know anything about aristocracies at the time, that's a huge deal. Huge deal. I'm gonna scroll down on my notes. There's a lot of notes here. So, while hunting, he would push for an invasion of Britain, and when the Spanish would send ships to the English Channel with them, but the British ships, they were too quick, so they couldn't keep them in the English Channel or the North Sea. I don't know my English geography that well, so I couldn't tell you exactly where they were doing their blockade. You guys keep shooting my horse that I stole from you. And I can't see because... Ouch.
Clear shot.
Oh, I was able to get it done in time. Cool. Not gonna mess with you, man. Not gonna mess with you. These pistols are supposed to be so inaccurate, yet 100% of the time, pow, done. Alright, so now a long ride to Valley Forge. Personally, I wish this was like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not Odyssey. Well, maybe you can do it in Odyssey. I don't know yet. But I wished it was like Origins, where you just set a point and let the horse do auto ride, so I can talk to you guys without worrying about riding into a tree or something silly. So we're gonna do this little mission right here. I like the homesteaders. Oh, no, no. No, 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 no.
Got a good line on him.
Hope you're getting your axe out. Back. Sucks when someone shoots your horse, doesn't it?
What happened?
They demanded we give our entire yield to the crown. Warren refused. They killed our animals, salted our earth, then dragged us out. You saw what followed. I'm afraid we have nothing to give you in thanks, stranger. We have nothing left.
Perhaps there is something you could do instead.
Anything.
I live in a small community not far from you. The soil is rich. The people I live with would have need of fresh vegetables, wheat, or corn. If you were to rebuild your farm, you may prosper.
What kindness is this? This certainly comes deep. Thank you.
Connor's an amazing person. Amazing. How many people would you see do that? Not only murder for you, but say, hey, come live in my home. Take your pigs and your cows. Where's my horse? Well, we'll just take one of these, I guess. Alright, so back to Lafayette. So with, let's see, the Spanish Channel. So in September 1779, because they could not basically keep the ships in the channel, they scrapped the idea of. I get real tired of these guys shooting my horses.
Get my sights clear as day.
There, all your leaders are dead. You want to come at me? And kill. So totally gonna shoot that elk. But I didn't have any bullets. Alright, so let's see. Is there a way to... Where are we? What is this? Cave? I don't remember this cave being here. You know, is this the... No, this isn't what I thought it was. After securing 6,000 soldiers, he would return to America in command. He was under the command, I'm sorry, of Jean-Baptiste de Rochambeau, who I think we might see in Unity. I don't remember.
Lads, over it!
Oh, hell.
Wrong button. Stay down, big man. That's why there's people here. There's a chest. Have a horse? No. Guess I'll call one. So, Lafayette would act as a liaison officer between Rochambeau and Washington. Excuse me. Let's see. No, you can't climb that. No, those guys will leave me alone. Oh, there's a lot of them too. deal with that. Thank you. How many of these guys won't get off my horse? Guy stole my horse. Alright, so they would leave France in March of 1780 and would arrive in Boston on April 27th of that year. Lafayette would also take Red about 9 during the siege of Yorktown, and after holding off counterattack from Lord Cornwallis's British, he would... There's that drummer that ran off. Cornwallis would surrender on October 19th, 1781. Would leave Boston for France on December 18th, 1781, and would be received at the Palace of Versailles on January 22nd, 1782. He would also help negotiate the Treaty of Paris, and what he did after the American Revolution we'll talk for after this.
We should be sharing what we know with Lee, not Washington.
You seem to think I favor him, but my enemy is a notion, not a nation. It is wrong to compel obedience, whether to the British Crown or the Templar Cross. And I hope in time the Loyalists will see this too, for they are also victims.
You oppose tyranny, injustice. These are just symptoms. Their true cause is human weakness. Why do you think I keep on trying to show you the error of your way?
You have said much, yes, but you have shown me nothing.
Then we'll have to remedy that, then, won't we?
Sir.
Hello, Connor. What brings you here?
The British have recalled their men in Philadelphia. They march for New York.
Very well. I'll move our forces to Monmouth. If we can rout them, we'll have finally turned the tide.
And what's this?
Private
Oh,
correspondence.
of course it is. Would you like to know what it says, Connor? It seems your good friend here has just ordered an attack on your village. Although attack might be putting it mildly. Well, tell him, Commander.
We've been receiving reports of Allied natives working with the British. I've asked my men to put a stop to it.
By burning their villages and salting the land, by calling for their extermination, according to this letter. Not the first time, either. Tell them what you did 14 years ago.
That was another time. The 7 Years' War.
And so now you see what happens to this great man when under duress. He makes excuses, displaces blame, does a great many things, in fact, except take responsibility!
Enough! Who did what and why must wait. My people come first.
Then let's be off.
No. You and I are finished.
Son.
Do you think me so soft that by calling me son, I might change my mind? How long did you sit on this information, or am I to believe you discovered it now? My mother's blood may stain another's hands, but Charles Lee is no less a monster, and all he does by your command. A warning to you both. Choose to follow me or oppose me, and I will kill you.
Alright, we gotta get there quick. I gotta try to do it without touching the ground. Which I'm probably gonna fail because the horse won't move. So, one thing I really loved about what I found with Lafayette was that he was a staunch abolitionist. I believe that's the right term. which basically meant he opposed slavery in all forms, and he would was it just the Americas that he did that in? Oh, that's a rabbit. I almost shot the rabbit. Come on. Ah, dang it. Time to run. Since I already...
Got him sighted.
Oh, right. Thanks, horse. I really messed that up, huh? While I'm riding, I will load my pistol. Not gonna deal with the fort. He would be... Lafayette was... Yep, advocate about abolishing slavery. During a visit between 1784 and 1785, he would be honored by the Maryland State Legislature as and named natural-born citizens, him and all of his male heirs. So I found that interesting that so based on when the I think I missed. Oh, I almost didn't make it.
I should make sure the village is safe.
So when in 1789, when the Constitution was ratified, that would make him a citizen of the United States along with all of his male heirs. Alright, I'm getting off this horse because now I'm annoyed. I will take down that elk if it stays there. That's not an elk, that's a deer. When King Louis called for the assembly of notables on December 29th, 1786, Lafayette would be appointed to the hold on, let's talk to the clan mother, the clan mother, and then we'll continue.
Radun hagedun. Za shewe nekti ohnujera. Wakanu dunyu huedogati ga oya rungwe ayezene sege.
Unka giga oya rungwe.
De ohne gujes Charles Lee. Luana tukwa yasagoya donhawe kano dogu dano dohkara ni hardi.
Nahoda? Ka numwe ni honenu.
Wat de sagodi dashtana zini hardi ayun kiyun hunja.
Ja, jahtet karihwayeri.
Ona derda di desa niku hare. Ya kontak desa duhundani negiga ne ayagoderio.
Onak ti ashchagane. Te domzohun takedasta.
So he would be Lafayette when the General Assembly. During the Assembly of Notables, he would be appointed to the body. It's a fox. That would convene on February 22nd, 1787. I think I have to do this stealthily. I think. Clothesline. Dude, don't run away. Fine. Dude. Okay. Sure. So it was here within the Assembly of Notables that he would advise for reform and a true national assembly that would represent the whole of France. Instead, the king, as kings tend to do, chose to call for he would summon the Estates General. Lafayette would serve as part of, well, let me get through these 6 so I can, and because I don't know the name of it. I know it was part of the Second Estate, but for the life of me I couldn't tell you if it was what it was exactly called. There's a tree there.
Gedum, was it Danica? Hoda? Guegon Hakrori ne Charles Lee. What Triot the Hona Donzonia and Kiawanto. Donogon easy, I say, what is it?
A toga tigarungwe.
Horrid zit is on Nigora Denu. The Asade Nyanda the Scott Nigoragani. Nick the owner gone runete. The one who guard there.
They got your scar.
Connecting what you scan, see what Gonya has in a square the new stats again. Then you start Nigora di Hunto. Then what does want ducks out there? Nezungwe da summa.
Sadarissa.
Ungadorissa no Nazahayum.
Interesting thought that Charles Lee ran ahead of the fighting force that he fought for and then lied, possibly against Hatham's orders.
Yo, Tena. Tazis a dansum. Zigado Headstane. Redunhagedum. Charles Lee. Mountmouth. Was at the Hajib. Asagonat Dumase. Zinahodum Patriot. Renadelo Uni. Durha Saga. Asagonasete. On Doctangi Camoderio. Ronodio Howard Quenu. Ungenungue da Summa. Oh, Diatanum Stadunge.
Iwereya Nawadu Taingwaya Danustaduge. Ona was Sadarissa in Jadaro.
That's the true sentence. I don't think even with the crown that the Mohawk would have been safe. Okay, so yeah, it was just the second estate of nobility that Lafayette represented. Eventually, the Estates General would lead to Lafayette to draft a declaration that was called the Rights of Man and of the Citizen and he would consult with Thomas Jefferson on writing it. The next day, which would be in 1789. No, going the wrong way. Gotta go that way. He would lead. The finance minister would be dismissed, and the lawyer. I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong again, and I'm going to have a lot of this issue come time for Unity. I believe it's pronounced Camille. Demoluen. Again, how poorly I pronounce it, leave a comment below. So that guy would lead an armed mob. This would lead the king to have the army surround Paris, which in turn would lead to the storming of Bastille on July 14th, 1789. Wolves were attacking a deer, and the deer is not moving. He ran through the deer. Deer glitch, apparently, which is odd.
Yama.
Oh, basically saying thank you to the animal. Alright, so after the storming of Bastille, on August 26th, the National Assembly would approve his declaration. But on October 2nd, the king would reject it. Yeah, that is just a good... That's creepy. Very, very, very creepy. I don't... I'm gonna have problems sleeping after that. Oh. Man, let me get my bearings straight for a hot second. Alright, so, when France declared war on Austria on April 2nd, 1792, Lafayette would be Lieutenant General, and he would command one of the three armies of France. He would still lead for a call for the Radical Party in the National Assembly to be closed down, and then would have a warrant put out on his arrest on August 14th, 1792, after the dissolution of the monarchy. He would take exile in the Austrian Netherlands. He would end up being captured by their troops, and he spent more than 5 years in prison. He would return to France after Napoleon secured his release in 1797, and spent more than, but he would refuse to participate in Napoleon's government. After the Bourbon Restoration of, I need a horse. I don't know why I'm running. Yes, I do. I'm running to extend this so I can finish talking about Lafayette. Bourbon Restoration, 1814. He'd become a member of the Chamber of the Deputies, and in 1824, he would be invited by James Monroe to visit all 24 states at the time. During France's July Revolution of 1830, Lafayette would turn down the rule. Basically, they offered him the king, but instead, as dictator, like Napoleon was, but would instead pass on it and would support Louis Philippe as king until his rule would become autocratic. Oh, shoot. I probably don't want to be going to Monmouth through this route. That seems a bit dangerous. He would pass on May 20th, 1834 at the age of 76. He'd be buried in Picpus, again, not French, in Paris, under some soil from Bunker Hill. So he essentially got buried in two countries. And this, along with what he did for France and the United States, would make him, this guy right here, Lafayette, he's like 19 right now, the hero of two worlds.
Connor, my friend, you have arrived just in time to bear witness to our glorious victory.
Where is Charles Lee?
That bâtard. He shows up in the middle of our preparations and just takes charge. Screams at everyone to advance, and then rides away. I am left to pick up the pieces. Where did they come from? Send word that we are falling back! Everyone, to me! Now! Now!
I will hold the area while you bring them to safety.
I grant you my finest soldiers to serve as your personal guard. There is nothing they will not do to ensure you are victorious. Bonne chance, mon ami.
He still didn't like him touching him. Wow. He's got, he's got, used to the trigger to fire. This shit was,
We'll push these redcoats back yet.
Loaded. Yeah, I saw one. Part of like, nobody tells you that it's going to be, you're gonna have big cannonballs flying at your head. You're all like, oh, come fight in this war and get honor and glory.
That should slow them down.
Not doing too well.
We'll push these redcoats back yet. Some time, sir.
The pleasant thing is, though, is one person is left in the battalion, I guess, but they don't get forward.
That should slow them down.
I was gonna say, did I not kill anybody?
We'll push these redcoats back yet.
I'm gonna get. All of the limited guys in the back. Maybe with that guy on the horse.
Bought us some time,
Yeah,
sir.
I made it. Somehow I made it.
We are low on ammunition, sir, and the enemy advances.
Then we need to pull back, rejoin the others, and cover their escape.
3 minutes. And we're also going to try to prevent those executions.
If we remain here, we're dead then.
Alright, I'll let that horse want to ride it.
Shoot!
Get back to the others! I will take care of this!
Just saw my screen flash. He'll run one.
We must retreat!
And hopefully we don't use the pistol anymore because I don't have any bow. Oh, I do. We're so gonna be running that.
Come on, man!
Go! I can deal with this!
You're in my sight, sweetheart!
He's a brute.
If we can, do something, and quickly!
Do not worry about the redcoats. Go join the others.
Not quite sure why they would line him up to shoot him. Seems kind of pointless to me.
Well done, my friend. You have saved many lives today.
Connor?
Charles Lee has betrayed you. He forced retreat in the midst of battle, hoping the loss would take the lives of your men and see you relieved of your command.
What?
I'm sure he will come and spin a tale saying that he was outnumbered or I was somehow to blame. All lies. I will say it one last time. That man is your enemy, and he will not stop until you are dead or dishonored.
Connor's tale rings true. Lee was acting most odd upon the battlefield.
I will investigate these allegations at once.
The time for that is long past.
This must be done properly, else we're no better than those we oppose. Never mind the political ramifications of such an act.
Should you choose to spare Lee's life, then I will take it myself. Enjoy your victory, Commander. It will be the last I deliver you.
Spoiler alert, is not. I believe that's the end of 10, and then we have a modern day mission to do. Yep.
Something's happened, Desmond. Abstergo has your dad.
Where? Italy. Same place they were holding you.
What are you two waiting for? Let's go.
There's more.
Hey, books. Kids these days don't even know what those are.
Hello again, Mr. Miles. I hope this message finds you well, or as well as it can, all things considered. It appears we now each have something the other desires. I propose a trade. Bring me the apple, and I'll return your father to you no worse for the wear. Should you refuse, he will still be returned, albeit much worse for the wear. I assume you'd like to avoid an unpleasant outcome.
I always knew it would come to this. Just not so soon. I wonder if Abstergo even knows what's about to happen. And has this been a part of their plan all along? Maybe they want the world to end. To see it all burned away. Then they'd have their new world, ripe for the reshaping. We talked about looking for another power source, leaving him there. It's probably what he'd want, for us to finish the mission. But I can't. It's hard enough taking a life, but letting one be taken? Knowing there was something I could do about it? Not a chance. Might be I'm risking my life, risking all our lives to save an asshole. What else am I supposed to do? That asshole is my dad.
You see a little bit of parallel, not a major parallel, but a little bit of one between Desmond and his dad and Connor and his.
They're probably holding your father
Desmond's
on the
dad's
upper
not
level.
a
Same place they kept you.
Templar.
There's an elevator bank down the hall. Try not to let them see you.
They know I'm here, Rebecca. There's no way they don't.
This was a bad idea.
I don't understand why he's got the hidden blade strapped above his clothes. Sorry, Desmond, but it's called the hidden blade for a reason.
Hand over your weapons and come with me, sir.
I can show myself in, but thanks for the offer.
I'd rather this not turn ugly, Mr. Miles.
Then let me through.
Subdue the subject, please.
I still don't understand why they would keep sending people after him when he kills them like 10 at a time. Like, unless you're gonna send the whole building, don't waste the time.
Fourth floor.
Well, I see you've learned absolutely nothing since you left us. Walking into an elevator in the middle of a hostile environment. Really?
Warren's still that smart.
Where's my father?
You'll see him soon enough. Now be a good boy and wait for security to fetch you.
You're gonna have to climb the rest of the way.
It's amazing how easy he parkours up ledges that are only like yay big, but he can't. He has a hard time climbing up. Pulling his weight up a latch. Oh, I just
Need
jacked
eyes
that
on
up.
him. He can't be far. Where the hell is he?
Of course I did that. Why wouldn't I have? Right? times we gotta... Really?
Dad could be anywhere, Desmond. I'm sorry, but I just don't know where he is.
Oh, I don't remember the route.
That's okay. I do.
Excuse me. Bye, fellas. Bye, Felicia. I can climb trees. Breaking up is hard to do. I meant that as in like breaking out. There we go. Is it here? Do I actually have to kill him? I think I actually have to kill him. Let's check the other side. Let's do chainsaws on the way over. No? Alright. There we go. No, I do actually have to kill him. Alright. That bullet just ricochet? He shot me in the face. I should be dead. And I said Connor was a brute. Boy. Uh-oh. No? There we go.
Give me the apple.
This looks familiar, doesn't it?
Let's not draw this out. You got nowhere to go, and I've got a gun. Speaking of which, it's the 21st century and you're still running around with only a tiny knife for protection? It's stupid. All right, Desmond. Game's over.
He seems annoyed.
Not now. Not now.
See, he's got massive bleeding effect issues.
Get out!
So his mind is basically being fried with the Russian Nikolai Orlov that I talked about.
What the hell is going on down there?
Yeah, when did I talk about Orlov? It was Brotherhood? Yeah, Brotherhood. When we talked about the Tunguska event.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
But this
Enough is enough, Mr. Miles.
had potential
I invited you here in the spirit of
to
cooperation,
be an amazing boss fight.
but you responded to my hospitality with only violence. I had hoped we might preserve you and further study your memories. But you're not worth it. I hereby authorize the use of deadly force. Kill the bastard, and then bring me the apple.
I don't want to stab you, but you don't want to take that one. See, instead of this being some pretty cool one-on-one match where the best assassin killer would face off against Desmond, it just turned out to be a chase and stab. That had so much potential in it.
Where's Vidic?
Fifth floor.
office is up ahead.
You killed him. Daniel was under me. A sickly son, perhaps, but one full of promises. He accomplished so much and so well, and now you've taken him from me, from us, like the act, like Lucy. We want to help the world, Desmond, to save it from itself. But you keep getting in the way. All our hard work ruined. You're a fanatic, all your kind. Maintaining the erroneous belief that we are evil, that the work we do is wrong. Enrich lives here. We save and transform them. But you just keep taking and taking what isn't yours!
Dad?
Not so fast, Mr. Miles. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm the one calling the shots. Now give me the apple.
You want it? Fine. Here it is.
Wait! No!
And someone tell me why Vidic thought that it was going to end up in any other way when Ezio essentially did that at the beginning, at the end of Brotherhood.
You never should have come here. You put everything on the line for what? So you could rescue your father?
Yeah.
Exact same apple too. I'm surprised Vidic had that put in the office there. That's what you guys want right here. Oh, it only let me go so far before I have to use it. Wondered about that. It's basically melting their mind. But this is exactly the same thing that happened with Ezio at the end of Brotherhood. Exactly what he did to fight Cesare and his goons. Exactly what he did.
I'd get the power source hooked up before heading back into the Animus. But it's your call.
Yep, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to talk to everybody. And then we're going to call it a night.
Approached, one that was dark and cold. It would consume us, for we were flesh, and flesh is frail. Though suits and shields might offer comfort, such adornments would not suffice, not to save us all. So we sought to change what we were. In this manner, we might thrive in a world made poisonous. It was Aita who volunteered to see if it might be done. Aita, my husband, my love. In the end, it changed him, ruined him. He was made a prisoner of the machines. The body might survive, but his mind became brittle to the touch. He begged me for release, for days, for weeks, for months. I pleaded with him to give us time to find another way. But there wasn't one. Not for him. Not for us.
Basically, the quick summary of that was Juno's husband Aita would volunteer for basically the experiment was for transcendence, to put your mind in a machine. It didn't work the way they planned it, and he kind of went a little crazy. And then after that, he begged for death, and it was Juno who would give it to him. Back hurts.
What is consciousness but a series of electrical impulses? And the body a vessel to hold these sparks. But it is weak. In time, it decays and crumbles into dust. We asked ourselves then, what if it might be replaced with something stronger, something better? So we forged a new vessel, one that might endure. It proved easy enough to enter. But to leave required something more, something wrong. And so this too they abandoned. I wondered, though, were they right to turn away?
That is essentially what is called the Gray. It's basically a computer the way I understand it. And if I'm wrong and you're watching this right now, leave a comment below. But it's essentially like the internet, kinda, where their constructs, where their mind can exist until they can put it in a new body. But to do so required things that no one would sanction, essentially. Gray is very important to what we see the next, well, for a handful of games. Guess we'll start with Dad.
Hello?
Hey. Do you think killing Vidic set Abstergo back?
I doubt it. Sure, he pioneered the Animus, but they've had the technology for decades now. Plenty of other people can take his place.
And Cross?
Oh, he was a loose cannon. I doubt anyone's mourning his death. I think these days he was more a symbol than an asset. I'm sorry, I don't mean to dismiss what you did. But it's going to take a lot more than a couple of deaths to stop the Templars.
Did Vidic put you in an Animus when you were at Abstergo? They'd be able to search your memories and track you back here.
Oh, they definitely tried, but I made things difficult for them. You can resist, you can cloud up the transmission, or just refuse to move. Eventually, they would have gotten what they needed, but it still would have taken them weeks.
Vidic threatened to put me in a coma once.
It would have made you more pliable. But if the user isn't engaged, it's a mess. I know they've been working on ways to extract memories and let others sift through those memories. Maybe they're even analyzing mine right now. Maybe they'll find us. I don't know. What I do know is that we've got to get through that door.
Yeah. I should probably get back into the Animus. Hey. So, When this is over, and assuming it all works out, I was hoping I could, you know, come home.
I'd like nothing more. We're almost there, son.
Alright, let's go talk to Sean. Get my smart-ass British fix here.
I regret not asking you to hack into the Abstergo servers while you were there. A couple of well-placed relays and we'd be swimming in information.
We have everything we need.
Yeah, except the key.
We're close.
How do you know?
I just do.
I've been poking around a bit. Did you know there are machines down here that make... well,
Wizard mana or biblical mana?
What do you think? Biblical, of course. The Greeks called it ambrosia. The Indians, amrit or soma. Most cultures around the world refer to a divine food, though I'd say its taste is anything but.
You ate something that came out of a 75,000-year-old machine?
And I live to tell the tale.
So? What did it taste like?
Cardboard. Tasted of cardboard. Hardly the stuff of legends, though I wonder if the first civilization didn't taste differently than we do.
Maybe the flavorizer broke.
Flavorizer. You've certainly got away with words, Rebecca. Things are getting worse outside.
What do you mean?
Every day for the past 2 weeks, the sun has been throwing off larger and larger flares. Older satellites are starting to malfunction. I hear rumblings of recalling the crew on the International Space Station. There's already work being done as well to shield power stations and transformers on the ground. Not that any of it matters. This goes far beyond some brownouts. We all saw what's actually coming.
Do you know how it works?
Look, I'm no physicist, but it's something to do with the Earth's geomagnetic field. The flares and mass ejections disturb it, which appears to trigger seismic events. I've tried reaching out to people who might know better, but they all insist it's bunk. And I don't blame them. It sounds ridiculous.
I wish it was.
Best we finish up with Connor.
Alright, let's go talk to Rebecca. And do a quick thumb through the email so I don't say I haven't read them yet. One more day. Wait a minute. Oh, that's... He did get an email out before we went and got him. See, I would have liked to have known what was on those discs. Lies, you don't need such things. I alone will guide you. You don't trust me. I'm the enemy. I bade you kill the traitor. But if you hadn't, he would have died. And will as well. I hate you, but you will save us. So I offer my hand. I will lead you to salvation.
Hey, Desmond, didn't Subject 16's...
His name was Clay.
Sorry, didn't Clay say Washington was a Templar?
No. He indicated that Washington came into contact with an Apple of Eden, but beyond that, it's all speculation. Furthermore, judging from the portrait referenced by Clay, the event occurred much later in Washington's life. Perhaps Connor wasn't even involved. It's very hard to know for sure. We'll just have to wait and see what, if anything, happens.
So what was it like being back at Abstergo?
I didn't expect to get out of there alive. It's a good thing Cross broke down the way he did. If he wasn't losing his mind, I'd probably be dead.
I guess he never really recovered.
What do you mean?
When he first came to us, he was exhibiting symptoms of the bleeding effect. It was real bad. He'd just go in and out at a moment's notice. No animus required. Got a little violent, too, sometimes. It took a while and a bunch of therapy, but we thought we had it under control. Once he went back over to Abstergo, though, who knows what they did to him.
I still worry about that happening to me.
He was raised in an animus, Desmond. There's overexposure, and then there's Daniel. Poor guy. That could never happen to you. We won't let it. Hey, when this is all over, we should take a trip somewhere. Celebratory vacation.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Now listen to you. Italy, Brazil, and the United States, all in the span of a few weeks. And you're complaining about not getting out enough?
Seriously, Sean?
No, not seriously. Are you mad? Trust me, no one wants time off more than I do, right? Do you have any idea how hard it is to crank those database entries out as fast as I do?
The sooner we're done here,
All
the
right,
sooner we can
so,
take that vacation.
With that last Rebecca comment, that is the end of tonight's recording. I hope you've enjoyed watching as much as I have enjoyed showing and sharing a little bit of the knowledge that I have found. With that said, if you've enjoyed my content, take a look at the links in the description for my website, my social media. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bitty bell guy. And until next time, have a great night.